Hey everybody, welcome back to homerecordingmadeeasy.com and here on my YouTube channel. And in this video, we're going to do another hardware shootout against another plugin. We're going to take a look and a listen at the Wes Audio Dione hardware SSL style bus compressor. And we're going to shoot that out against the actual SSL G series bus compressor by Waves. Very popular. A lot of people have it. Sounds great. How do they sound different? Which one sounds better? I don't know. We're going to find out in this video. We're going to listen to it on some drums, and we're going to listen to it on kind of a final mix. And I'm going to take you through it, and we're going to decide together which one we like better. So if you have not seen my full review on the Wes Audio Dione compressor, you can click the link in the description box below where I take you through all the feature sets and we go through and we do a little bit more of a deep dive. You can click the link in the description box below. This is just going to be an A/B against the Waves SSL bus compressor. So before we get to that, if you like what you see in this video, please consider subscribing and make sure you hit the notification bell. Also, go out to homerecordingmadeeasy.com, especially if you're new here and you've never been to Home Recording Made Easy. I want to give you a free mixing course worth about $50. It's right on the homepage. You can't miss it. It's my gift to you just for visiting homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Link will be in the description box. And if you stick around till the end of the video, I'm going to give you another free gift. So make sure you stick around. This is going to be a lot of fun. So before we get started, I want to make sure that I mention a couple of things. One, and I'm working along with my good friends over at Sweetwater to bring you this review in this shootout between the Dione by Wes Audio and the Waves SSL bus compressor plugin. So thank you so much to Sweetwater. They've been very, very cool. We've done lots of videos together where we're doing a lot of comparison, I should say, of hardware versus plugins. So make sure you check out the other videos on the channel. So thank you so much to Sweetwater. They've been kind enough to help support and sponsor this video, and I really do appreciate it. So here we are in Studio One. Here are the two compressors that we're going to listen to. Let me tell you what we're going to listen to first. So the first thing we're going to do, and you should probably, if you don't already, see an actual image of the actual hardware, because I have a secondary camera on it so you can see the hardware. And as you know, if you've watched any of the other Wes Audio videos I have, the plugin controls the hardware controls the plugin. Again, you can watch the full review, link in the description box below. So first thing we're going to listen to is we have a nice drum loop coming right out of Steven Slate SSD5. Sounds great, little MIDI drum groove. We're going to listen to that. And the way I have this routed, let me just close this so I can show you. If you pay attention here to the two brown tracks down here, we have one that's being routed to a HRD hardware bus, which is right here. On the hardware bus, we have the Dione plugin interface, right, that controls the hardware. And we're also using the Pipeline XT in Studio One to allow us to route the hardware into our digital audio workstation. Again, I did a whole video on the Pipeline XT. You can check that out if you're a Studio One user. It makes using hardware in the DAW very, very simple and easy with no fuss and no muss. So that's what's on the hardware bus. Then we have a duplicate of that same drum track here, SSD5.2, and that is going to a plugin bus. And this plugin bus has our Waves plugin on it, okay? And they're both of those buses here are being routed to the main output where there's no other processing at all. So the first thing I want to do is I want to start with the hardware. We'll start with the hardware. We'll listen to the Dione here, okay? And we got the same settings going on these compressors. But first, we're going a 4:1 ratio. We have 100% compressed, 100% wet on the mix dry. We're using a 10 millisecond attack. We're doing the fastest release setting. And what is unique to the Wes Audio Dione compressors, they have this THD, total harmonic distortion, which has two stages of saturation and distortion, a medium, a high, or you can turn it off. We're going to keep it off for now because the plugin doesn't have that feature, but maybe I'll turn it on a little bit later towards the end of the video. And then we also have our sidechain filter here, which right now we have in the off position. And let's make sure our SSL is in the off position. There's no sidechain on the SSL? No, there's not. I thought there was. But no, that's on the universal audio version. So we're going to keep that off just to try to compare apples to apples. So we're going to do about, I don't know, 3 to 4 dB of compression. Let's listen to the hardware, the Wes Audio Dione compressor on this little drum loop, and let's see what it sounds like. Bypassed. Turn down the makeup gain a little bit. It's before. its width. Okay, so it's got that real nice thick bottom end, really tightens up. It's got that SSL sound, this VCA compressor, this SSL kind of I wouldn't say a clone, but an emulation. Sounds very SSL-esque. Really, really cool, right? Okay, so just using a few dB of gain. We could even probably give it a little more. There we go. Okay, so that's the Dione by Wes Audio. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing. Now we got a 4:1 ratio here. I want to make sure we're getting the same. Now we're going to listen to the second bus here. We're going to listen to the SSL by waves. 4:1 ratio, same attack setting, same everything. Let's see if we can get about the same amount of compression, just shy of 4 dB. There we are right there. That's before. Let it come around. Sounds really great, right? Okay, so now let's compare the two. So I'm going to bring both of them up on the screen here so we can see both. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to just toggle back and forth between the two. So we will start with the hardware. All you really need to look at is the two brown, well, you can see the meters here, but the two brown tracks here, SSD5, the first one is the hardware on the left, and then the second one here in brown is the plugin. Okay, so that's all you have to do, all you got to listen for. So we're going to start with the hardware, and I'm just going to toggle back and forth, and if there's some volume difference, I will make the adjustment to make sure the plugins are relatively the same volume to try to keep this competition fair. So here we go. We're starting with the Wes Audio Dione hardware compressor. Okay, so the waves is louder, so let's turn that down. We'll make less makeup gain. Okay, I think we got a level match pretty good now. Let's go through that cycle one more time and we'll keep flipping back and forth. Okay, so we're going to start with the Dione and then we're going to go to the waves plugin. Still feel like the waves are still a little bit louder. So let me make sure we turn that down just a little bit. I want to try to keep this as fair as we can make it here. I hear the snare just being a little louder here on this one. Let's try this again. It's better. Okay, so I don't know how this comes over YouTube. It comes across, and hopefully you're listening to this on a good set of cans or a good set of studio monitors. What I hear on the Wes Audio is I hear that the snare sustains a little bit more. I feel like it gets a little bit more, a little wider. It almost seems like the drums spread out and get a little bit bigger, a little bit fatter. I feel like the waves sounds a little bit warmer, but it seems a little bit more narrow, if that makes any sense. Every video I've done so far on this hardware versus plugins, I always come back to the term, it seems like that the hardware has a little bit more of a 3D depth to it than the plugin, where the plugin sounds really good, but it seems like it's a little more two-dimensional to me. It's a little more in the center. It's not big and wide. Like the hardware is, in a subtle way. Again, not a big difference, but in a subtle way. So now that that's what I've kind of told you I'm hearing, see maybe if you can kind of focus in your listening on that, and let's try that again. So here we are on the Dione, we're on the Wes Audio, and then we will go over to the waves. Yeah, especially the snare drum. Yeah, so I really notice it on the snare, where the snare seems a little bit less impactful, not as much impact on the snare with the plugin than the hardware, and the hardware makes it seem like it's a little bit more, it sustains more, it's a little bit more full sounding to me. It sounds like it just gets a little fatter and a little larger, if that makes any sense. So that's on drums. So now let's take a listen to the same thing on maybe a finished mix. So that's just one instance of it. So now let's also do the same test, but let's do it on a track. So here we have a final mix that's already been done a while back, where I've already mixed it through a bus compressor, a plug-in bus compressor. I wasn't sure if it was an SSL or not, but I've always done a little light compression on the master bus, so this will have that on there. Obviously, you want to, when you're working with these, the most ideal situation would be to mix through them or mix into them when you're doing your mix session. So this test might be a little skewed because of that fact. But anyway, it's all relative because we're comparing one to the other. So let's listen to this here. Let me turn off the loop and we'll kind of listen to what we have this. Nice, cool jazz track. Again, we'll start with the one, they're in blue here. So we have the two blue tracks. The first one is going to the hardware bus with the Dione on it, and the second one is going to the Waves plugin. So let's start with the hardware. And I'll make little adjustments if we need to here. I'll kind of leave that alone.
Take me down in my necklaces and gown. Wanna play along tonight. Take me down, give me glamour by the pound. It be going round tonight. Down at the palace, got to be actress. Take me down where they mingle with the crown. Can we be profound tonight? Royal clowns, talking syllables and nouns. Never wrong and never right.
It's bypassed.
Down at the palace, 2 cents are priceless. Yeah, yeah, yeah. People be tripping on their fears, they be sipping, but we got our own thing going down. 'Cause there's no denying that tonight will be sublime as long as you're around.
So you can really hear it as I'm just bypassing the Dione on and off, how it really squeezes the vocal in a really nice musical way. Where the vocal's much more controlled with the compression. And we're compressing probably a little heavy here on a final mix like this, but I want you to hear the compressor. Let's do the same thing on the waves, and then I'll just bypass the waves in and out, and then we'll go back and forth between the two. So here is that same passage of music with the waves.
Necklaces and gown, wanna play along tonight. Take me down, give me glamour by the pound. It be going round tonight. Down at
Okay, so there's that on and off there between the two. So now let's go back and forth again between the hardware and the plugin. And we'll start with that same passage of music. And what I'll do is if there's a volume difference between the two, we'll try to level match them the best we can. So we're going to start off here with the Dione by Wes Audio.
Necklaces and gown, wanna play along tonight. Take me down, give me glamour by the pound. It be going round tonight. Down at the palace, got to be address. Take me down, where they mingle with the crown. Can we be profound tonight? Royal clowns, talking syllables and nouns, never wrong and never right.
Okay, so what I hear here in the vocal, just to let you know, so you can maybe focus your listening on this, the lead vocal, it's obvious here. On the Dione, it's a lot more open. It seems like it's a lot more clarity and a lot more open, the lead vocal, where on the Waves, it seems like it's a little more closed in and almost has a little bit of a mask on it. Also, I noticed on the keyboards, if you hear the B3 or the Rhodes, going on in the background, again, with the Wes Audio, I feel like it's a little bit wider sounding, has a little bit more clarity to it, and it seems like it's a little bit more compressed sounding with the Waves, even though this, we're compressing about the same amount. So, but it feels like it's got more of a mask on it. Okay, so let's listen to that again from the beginning, and we'll flip back and forth. We will start with the hardware.
Necklaces and gown, wanna play along tonight. Take me down, give me glamour by the pound. It be going round tonight. Down at the palace, got to be address. Take me down, where they mingle with the crown. Can we be profound tonight? Royal clowns, talking syllables and nouns, never wrong and never right.
So again, just in such a subtle way, I feel like the hardware has a little bit more openness on that vocal, but I mean, it sounds pretty close, does it not? It does. It does sound great. I'd be interested to know what you guys think below in the comments. I'm sure a lot of you will be kind enough to leave some comments. So pretty close. Here's another real nice feature I think about the Wes Audio, which right now this particular plugin doesn't have, but just to show you, and again, go watch the full review, is where you're dealing with the total harmonic distortion. They have two settings, medium and high, and then off. And it really adds a nice richness to the sound. So what I want to do is we're going to play back the Dione here, and I'm going to go to the two different THD settings so you could hear it and hear what it kind of does to the overall tone.
Necklaces and gown, wanna play along tonight.
Here's the high setting.
Take me down, give me glamour by the pound. It be going round tonight.
That's off. Keep your eye on the lights. So it really adds just another layer of nice richness and saturation, even at the high setting where you would think it's a little bit too much. And on this mix, it's a little bit too much, but it's still very musical. It's not one thing I love about the THD settings on all the Wes Audio modules and their master bus compressor as well, is that even at its highest setting, it's still very usable. A lot of times you'll find saturation plugins or hardware stuff where once you get past about 50%, it almost becomes unusable unless you're really trying to drench the thing in distortion. But this is very musical still. It's subtle, but it's not so subtle where you don't notice it at all, but it's not so much where it's like, oh, I can't use that. It's just too much distortion, too much crunchiness. No, it sounds really, really good. So now if we just kept this on the medium setting, and I know it's a little bit of an unfair comparison, I get it, before everyone starts typing away, but let's just do it for fun, shall we? Let's now compare the Dione with this THD engaged to the waves, and let's see how much of a difference does it really make. I don't know. Let's find out. Here we go. We're going to start with the Dione, and we'll toggle over to the waves.
And gown, wanna play along tonight. Take me down, give me glamour by the pound. It be going round tonight. Down at the palace, got to be actress. Take me down, where they mingle with the crown. Can we be profound tonight? Royal clowns, talking syllables and nouns, never wrong and never right.
Okay, so that's on the medium setting. Now, if we go to the high setting for the THD, let's see what the difference is there as well. I'll back this up a little bit and we'll try that again. Okay, so again, with the saturation, I hear that, to me, in my ears, I hear that openness of the vocal even more so. Although with total harmonic distortion, really it adds a little bit of compression, a little bit of saturation. You think it would make it a little smaller sounding, more like the waves. It doesn't. It seems to make it sound a little larger to me. But now at the highest settings, let's hear the difference.
Down in my necklaces and gown, wanna play along tonight. Take me down, give me glamour by the pound. It be going round tonight. Down at the palace, got to be actress. Take me down, where they mingle with the crown. Can we be profound tonight? Royal clowns, talking syllables and nouns, never wrong and never right. Down at the palace, 2 cents are priceless. Yeah, yeah, yeah. People be tripping on their fears, they be sipping, but we got our own thing going down. 'Cause there's no denying that tonight'll be sublime, as long as you're around. All those nights, have a little taste of life. You and I, pleasure is endless down at the palace.
And beyond the lead vocal too, what I also hear in the hardware is it's got a lot more thickness on the bottom end. It's not flubby, it's tight, but there's a lot more weight to the track. And this is a good track for that because it's got a really kind of a pillowy, warm bass sound, jazz, and it's got a stand-up bass. So it's kind of got a nice low end as it is. So yes, the vocal opens up a little bit more, but it also seems like it gets a little bit tighter on the low end with the Wes Audio. Again, this is a very respectable plugin and it sounds great. And when you compare them back and forth and you A/B them, they are pretty close. But, you know, what do you like better? They're not, one's not really better than another. It's just different. And that's the thing between hardware and plugins. What do you like? So what I like about the Wes Audio hardware is I love the fact that we have the THD settings. That's kind of cool. Although you could use a plugin, a saturation plugin, right before or right after this plugin in your chain and achieve similar results, which is kind of cool. But what's great about the Wes Audio hardware as well, and I've said this at the beginning of the video, because it's analog signal path, but it's 100% digitally controlled, which means it's fully recallable 100% with the plugin. No more writing down settings, no more taking photos of the gear, going between sessions and having to recall things. It's instantly recallable. And as I touch the hardware, you'll see that the knobs turn. And as I turn the plugin, you'll see that the hardware lights up and turns. And all the hardware knobs are sense touchative. So as I touch them, they light up, which is really nice. So you can either grab the hardware if you like twisting the knobs and you want to have that tactile feel, or you can use the plugin, or you could do a combination of both. There's a lot of versatility here. So what I think between these two particular units, again, the Wes Audio's got more attack settings. It has more release settings. That's true. It also has the 100% wet and dry thing. So you could do kind of the parallel compression thing, which is cool. It's got the THD in it, which is great. And so you have more, and you have a sidechain filter here as well. So you have more flexibility with this than this, but this, the Waves, is more true to the real console, a real SSL G-Series console. This is the compressor that you would have on that. They've kind of taken it a little bit further and gave you a little bit more flexibility and a few more settings and some more tweakability with the Wes Audio. So which one do you like? Leave comments below and let me know. So I want to thank you so much for checking out the Wes Audio Dione compared to the Waves G Master Bus Compressor. A lot of fun. Both sound great. It's the ongoing battle between hardware and plugins, and I really want to know what you guys think. So leave your comments below. Do you use hardware? Do you use only plugins? Do you use a combination of both and go more hybrid? And if you do, what do you think of the Wes Audio stuff and the fact that it is 100% digitally controlled with analog signal path? What is your thoughts around that? I love to know. And again, if you want to learn more about the Wes Audio product line or even the Waves plugins, they're all sold at Sweetwater, and all the links will be in the description box below. And as I've said at the beginning of the video, those are affiliate links. So if you purchase anything using those links at sweetwater.com, I get a small commission, and you're helping out Uncle Dave here. And I really want to say I appreciate you guys for using those affiliate links when you are in the market for new gear, whether you buy plugins, hardware, or whatever you need for your home studio. I appreciate that. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So speaking of thank yous, thank you so much, Sweetwater, for sending me over the Dione and letting me test it. I love it. It's staying in that rack, by the way. And I love it. I'm going to be using a lot more of the Wes Audio gear. Make sure you check my the latest videos on my channel where we're going through all of the Wes Audio modules, including the now infamous NG bus compressor, mastering stereo bus compressor. Very, very cool as well. You'll dig that. Now, you stay till the end of the video. I've already told you about the free mixing course at homerecordingmadeeasy.com. If you have not done so already, go get your free $50 mixing course. After you've taken that course, you like my teaching style, I kind of sink in with you, and you relate to my kind of teaching, and you dig my course, and you want to check out some other training courses on my website, I want to give you a discount. I want to give you a 25% discount on any of the other courses on my website. All you have to do is use the coupon code YouTube25. If you put that in at checkout, it will take 25% off any one of my other training courses. So it's my gift to you once again, just for checking out my courses over at homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you let me know below what you think of this video. Give me the old thumbs up if you would, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.